Hi Sandy, nice to see you've sent us a set of essays. Let's take a look at what you wrote here. This is about switching jobs, so here's what you said. There are a lot of employees who prefer to stick to one job in their lifespan. However, other employees believe, without the D, that it is better for them to have some changes, not on there, and there should be two words, but it should be in there, I believe would be better. Changes in their pathway. Yeah, I think that's better. Staying at or in the same job can benefit employees as they can have a high possibility of being promoted. On the other hand, a person can widen their eye. No, you don't widen your eyes. Can you broaden your perspective, perhaps? So on the other hand, a person can broaden their perspective of different jobs by switching. No, too many jobs in one word. Look at that. Jobs, jobs, jobs. So on the other hand, a person can broaden their perspective of different careers by switching jobs, and full stop. In my opinion, there is no definite right or wrong on this, but one should judge a situation before making a decision. All right, obviously we've got a lot of grammatical problems here. Every sentence is basically full of them. So this is going to be a real problem for you in order to score well. I don't want to say that it creates incoherence. It's not that I can't understand what you're trying to say, but it's something that an examiner would say creates strain, because an examiner will not be able to get through a paragraph like this without really working to understand what you're trying to say, okay? And to get through all those mistakes to understand your message. However, as far as the structure is concerned, it's fine. So let's take a look at the other paragraphs. All right, there is no doubt that there are merits of something. All right, of people sticking to the same job. The obvious one is it is easier for them to be promoted. Employees can enhance their expertise in a specific domain and gain more related working experience in the same field. In addition, these individuals have a thorough understanding of the existing system in their organization. That means they can be marked as the most knowledgeable and senior staff within the corporation. As a result, they will always be selected for recognition as well as promotion. For instance, Hospital Authority in Hong Kong, write it out please, often provides specialty training for senior staff, and these staff always can be promoted after training. That doesn't make sense. Always can be. So can be means perhaps sometimes, but always means always. So you have to decide. So these staff are always promoted after training. Therefore, these employees definitely have a stable progress in their professional life. All right, now I had a much easier time with this paragraph. It made a lot more sense. You didn't have nearly as many errors, okay? And you certainly developed your ideas considerably, okay? So, fine. Let's see, what else do you have here? It's rather long, isn't it? All right, let's see. On the other hand, there is a group of people. Okay, you know what? Don't talk about a group of people. This supposedly is your idea, is it not? Oh, okay. Rather than talking about a group of people, why don't you just say that you see it as being valuable? Because we're not asking about other people's experience. We're not asking you, it's not a discuss both views and give your opinion. This is to what extent do you agree? So let's change this. And let's say instead, on the other hand, there is some validity to switching jobs in order to have a successful life. It is certain that changing jobs leads people to get exposure to different working environments and face many difficulties. People can learn many things, because we didn't say who they is. So people can learn many things, require many different skills to develop and inspire themselves. After that, this group of individuals, no apostrophe here, come after the S. Market value can be increased, resulting in receiving more offers with a higher salary. Thus, can have opportunities to choose their suitable job. Okay. All right, it's fine. It did feel a little underdeveloped compared to the previous paragraph, so that's something I want you to be careful of. Let's see. I think you could have said a little more here because you just said so much about this paragraph. I felt like this was really yeah, it was just underdeveloped. Like you didn't talk about it as much as you did the previous paragraph, and I thought there was more to say here. So, to conclude, people prefer to switch jobs, S, to challenge themselves and equip, no PED, themselves with more skills which enhance their market value. In contrast, some employees prefer, get rid of rather, to. Some employees prefer to have stable progress and secure their job. In my opinion, there are merits and demerits of both sides. Individuals should collect. Here you need a full stop. Detailed job information and assess one's own abilities. So one's, apostrophe S, no, apostrophe S here, and personality prior to decision making. Now, let's talk about the problem with this. They ask you to what extent do you agree or disagree, and you haven't really told us. It sounds like you're somewhere in the middle, but when you have an essay like this, it is rather important for you to pick a side, even if it's just slightly more. So even if it's just like 51 to 49%, do try to side with one side over the other, okay? So your introduction was problematic. Your conclusion also had a lot of grammatical errors in it. You could see that in several places throughout the essay. I kind of struggled and tried to correct a lot of the grammar. But I thought the development, particularly of your first body paragraph, was good. This one needed more work, okay? Let's see what else you wrote us. Okay, crop production in France. Here's what you wrote. The pie chart compares the proportion of sugar, wheat, barley, rice, cotton, and corn produced in France in 2007. Okay. I thought it was 2017. Yep, it even says it in the prompt, so be careful. It's not 2007. Overall, cotton was the most significant segment of the cultivated plants produced in France in 2007. You didn't need a semicolon here. A comma would have been good, whereas corn contributed the least to the crop production. Subsequently, the percentage of production of sugar, wheat, and barley were, or yeah, I guess are, similar with each other. That's fine. Okay, although I don't really see that. If I remember correctly, barley is like 20%, whereas, yes. Okay, yeah, so these are all like in the around 18 and then 20 and then like 20 something, so that's fine, yes. First and foremost, France produced a large amount of cotton in 2007, which accounted for 34.4%. In contrast, corn and rice cultivated in France in 2007. Careful, it's not a small number. And even here, amount is inappropriate. You really want to refer to proportion, percentage, okay? A large proportion of cotton. So in contrast, the corn and rice cultivated in France in 2007 accounted for a very small figure of 1.7 and 3.5 respectively. The production of corn was the least in France in 2007, and rice was the 5th on the list of cultivated plants. S. Okay, so you decided to spend your first paragraph on the top and on the to let least, so let's keep that in mind and go to your next paragraph. On the other hand, the percentages of production of sugar, wheat, and barley were similar. In detail, no S. Sugar and wheat made up 21.9 and 20.4 respectively in 2007, followed closely by barley, which was under a 5th. Okay, let's see what you did here. All right, 157 words. Here's the thing. This one is rather difficult because it is so simple. There's very little to work with here. I thought you did a decent job. I mean, you were over the word minimum. I thought there were more things you could have said, to be sure. Let me tell you, for example. Okay, so you've got this figure here for cotton, which is 34.4. Well, take a look at this. All right, you mentioned that it was the 5th on the list. What you could have also mentioned is that it was almost 1/10 of the production of cotton. Similarly, you could have said that this 1.7 for corn was 1/20th of the highest percentage. All right, so when you have very little data to work with here, you need to make interesting connections, all right, and you should be able to do it. So that's something I would have liked to have seen more of. There was still some awkwardness, but on the whole, it was okay. It wasn't too bad. Your overview was nice. You didn't use any data there, so that's good. So yeah, that's my suggestion when you have one of these really simple charts. Go ahead and correct these essays and let's see more work from you. I'll be looking forward to it, so good luck.